yes, 24 hours to go until the decider happens at Accor Stadium tomorrow night. It all begins tomorrow night. Welcome back to the channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my official State of Origin Game 3 decider preview for tonight. Huge game, honestly huge. I wish I was going, but the tickets cost like $300. That's the cheapest that you could probably find for that price, which is just unbelievable. But anyway, I'll be at home watching the game, having everything ready for a big night ahead, so looking forward to it. But obviously it makes it a whole lot bigger because it's a decider. Blues won game 1, Queensland won game 2 in Perth, so this means it's going to be a huge game ahead. We all thought Blues could win game 2 based on the way they were in game 1, but Queensland just had that underdog mentality and shocked the Blues in Perth, where they never lost to the Queensland side before until that game in game 2. Now, game 3 at Accor, that's the Blues home. They beat the Queensland side in Queensland at Accor Stadium in game 1. I'm sure Queensland are going to try and spoil the party for the Blues at home at Accor Stadium. But I hope that does not happen, because I want the Blues to win. I want the Blues to get the series dub for tomorrow night and create a legacy and get the job done and have a say over those Queenslanders for the remaining time of the year. But as always, though, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And thanks again for 5,500 subscribers. It means a lot. That was the channel goal. So got there now. Thank you very much. But here we go. State of Origin Game 3 preview. What the Blues would have learnt from Game 2. Well, I hope they learnt this anyway. I just think they can't get complacent. I feel like a lot of complacency happened in Game 2. Like Liam Martin giving it to, I think, Tino or one of the Queensland players, and then knocked on the ball early in the game, laughing in their faces or whatever, like the game was already over. That sort of shit can't happen in Game 3, if I'm being honest. Sure, obviously give it to the opponent if they're making an error or something, but to just keep heckling on and keep laughing in their faces for like a good minute or so, that's obviously going to roll up the other team or the state like Queensland, and they obviously, took advantage of the Blues, I guess, basically standing over the Queensland side, and they just came out of nowhere and went bang, bang, bang. So we can't let that complacency slip over again. Liam Martin's a great player, but just hopefully he can hold that in for next time. But another part of the reason is because I feel like one major thing I really do believe the Blues have to work on is just the forward pack, I reckon. Because our forward pack was just so bad against the Maroons, and I get it was wet and whatever, but that's no excuse. Queensland still had a great game in the wet, but we didn't turn up until like the 50th minute. So it's our forward pack that needs to stand up and set the standard, I guess, and really make space for the backs to do their role. I feel like the halves need to be a bit better as well. I know Luai and Cleary are a champion halves pairing, but I think Cleary needs to also be a bit more... Well, yeah, it was carrying an injury, to be fair. I can't be too critical of Cleary, but yeah, look, if he wasn't fit, they don't play him. But it's an Origin game. I guess Loz had to rush him in there, get him at least feeling 50% to play. And yeah, that's what happened. But obviously it wasn't his greatest game. He played okay, what wasn't his greatest, but I feel like the other guy, Jerome Luai, had to do a bit more as well. Luai just made some terrible kicks, like out on the full at one stage, I'm pretty sure, and just really struggled to hold his edge on his own by himself. So yeah, look, it's really up to the Blues to really string in a better performance in Game 3 at home, sold out crowd already. It's about consistency and about not getting complacent too early. It's about working hard and just like making sure the team's on the same page, ready to go into war and just win the game by being gritty and being tough. So I hope that's what the Blues mentality is come tomorrow night. As for Queensland, what they probably learnt from Game 2, well, I would say they learnt how to, I guess, play better as a team overall, because Game 1, they looked like they never played a game of NRL together for their entire life or played in an Origin game ever before. But yeah, they were a bit more connected in Game 2, I thought. Like, honestly, don't know if that was dropping DCE was the reason why they played so well. I mean, look, probably part of it, but I guess Tom Dearden and Munster are a good halves pairing. Munster being the captain, maybe it's a good fresh type of move the Maroon side needed. As for Tom Dearden being the 7, taking over from Cherry Evans, Like I said before, I don't know if Dean's ready to be the main man just yet, but he definitely was very good on that Wednesday night in Perth. Like, he was excellent, really controlling the game really well with his kicking, and also a very dangerous threat with his running game and whatever. So I think, they can't change too much heading into game three. Like, they really can't. If Billy Slater can make sure the Queensland side hold that same standard that they put in game two going into game three, then Queensland are a great chance of winning tomorrow night. Hate to say it, but they are. So it's about just playing that whole game with the same mentality they had in game two, where they just made sure they weren't getting stood over by the Blues or getting intimidated and whatever. They actually wanted to play for that spirit of the jersey they do wear, and they wanted to get gritty and just make the Blues feel uncomfortable, which they did in game two. So I feel like they'll be ready to play with the same mindset again, which the Blues have to be careful of because, like I said, New South Wales were complacent and Queensland took advantage of that pretty quickly. So I think Queensland will definitely want to try and get the mental edge over the Blues yet again if Blues do slack off, which I hope that doesn't happen. The three Blues that have to stand up the most in game three, it's pretty obvious. Jerome Luai, Max King, and Stefano Tokomanu. These three were responsible, in my honest opinion, for the loss in game two. I'll start with Jerome Luai. Pretty similar to what I said before. I like Luai, great player, one of my favourite players outside of Manly, but I think Luai was a bit costly on that Wednesday night. Just, again, I know he came into the squad, not much time to prepare with the Blues team, like he was replacing Mitchell Moses, but he had to be better. Like, seriously, he had to be better. Didn't really control the game that well on his edge. Bit leaky on that side as well. And just some average kicking game by him as well. I just think he needs to go back to the basics and do what he's good at. Because, he just made things uncomfortable for himself and the team on Wednesday night. So I think Luai has to just go into the game thinking what his strengths are and what he can do so well for the team. As we already know, he's already a great ball runner, I feel like, and a very good organiser and talker. So I just think he needs to just get back to his basics, which he can easily do. He's a champion player, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there was a lot of things on Wednesday night that cost us the game. So Luai needs to have a big game tomorrow night if we are to win. As for Max King wasn't our worst player, I don't believe, but he definitely didn't offer much in game two. Like, Max King's solid, okay? He's solid, but he's not a game-changing prop or anything. So that's why I'm a bit adamant if he's actually Origin material or not still. But he needs to just, again, make sure he's aggressive enough to contain the forward pack, because that Maroons forward pack killed him and Stefano. Like, both of them just were, bloody pillows, tackling bloody pitchforks or whatever. Like, so just the Queensland forward pack, to put it this way, the Queensland forward pack was way more threatening than the Blues forward pack. And I feel like Max King was very, very responsible for that. So was Stefano. So I feel like Max King needs to bring more aggression into his game and just be overall more into his job, I guess, a bit more earlier and get ready for what's to come, because he just kept getting bashed backwards and kept making, ineffective run meters. And it's not good enough. It really isn't good enough. He's solid, but is he really that star prop? I don't think so. So it's questionable for me if he's even an Origin worthy pick at this point. But I'll back him to go well tomorrow. Hopefully he does, but he needs to be more aggressive. As for Stefano, I'm a bit more disappointed in Stefano, to be fair. Stefano has the physical attributes to be a great prop, which he already is at club level, but I think he's been a bit quiet at Melbourne, to be fair. But he has the attributes to be a great prop, which he already is. But he just was very quiet, like Max King in game two. Just errors and just shit runs. Like, it's not good enough. So if Stefano can be better in game three, then that's great, because obviously we need him to be a lot better, since we can't just rely on Payne Haas and Isaiah Yeo to be the guys that take us going forward. I really think, Stefano, with his aggression and his strong ball carries that he can do, needs to just get into the game and be aggressive and be mongrel towards the Queensland forward pack. So I am backing all these three guys to go well tomorrow night. Is Josh Papali'i the Queensland Maroons wildcard? I'm going to say yes, he is. It's a real shock to see him back in the State of Origin arena. His first time playing Origin since 2022, I think. I'm pretty sure. But look, obviously, Papali'i is still playing great at his age. Still a great damaging front rower. He's not slowing down like many guys at his age. Being a prop would slow down, but he's not. He's still pushing through and playing great football. So good on Papa. He's a real workhorse and a freak. But yeah, he's back for Queensland. He's back there to bring a bit of aggression and bring, I guess, a bit of the good Canberra Raiders form is offering right now for Queensland into the, for Canberra, bringing that into the Queensland Maroons camp because he's been excellent for the Raiders side this season, been very good. So I think he's also there to stop Payne Haas. I think, don't know who said it last night on a 100% footy. I can't quite remember, or maybe it was 360. Someone said it, but they mentioned that Papali'i, they believe Papali'i was brought in that team to stop Payne Haas. And I feel like that's a great point because Payne Haas can easily change the game and change the momentum when he makes his runs and makes the damaging carries he can do. And I feel like they need someone that can actually contain Haas and just be a good defensive barrier for Haas to make it difficult for him to get through. So I feel like they've brought Papali'i to counter his aggression, which is smart because Papali'i is still a great veteran and still playing great footy at his age. So yeah, he's a big wild card for sure. Like Papali'i can make runs that change the game like Haas as well. Not as damaging as Haas, but can make runs that just, change the gist of how things can run sometimes. So, wild card thing for sure by Billy Slater. Obviously, he caught him a few times and he missed the calls, but he's in the Maroons arena now, and he'll be a big inclusion tomorrow night. So, as a Blues fan, I'm interested to see how Papa goes. Cleary or Dearden, who creates legacy? Because one of these two guys will obviously be the halfback that wins the series for the state. Now, let me just say, if Blues lose tomorrow night, does this ruin Nathan Cleary's legacy? No, it doesn't, because Cleary's already won 4 grand finals out of 5 appearances. He's already played for Australia, played for the Blues. He's already done so much things in the game, it's not even funny. But if we do lose and Cleary doesn't have the great game, then, obviously, the talk about him not owning an Origin game like Joey, Thurston, Cronk will still come up for him. But I think he's already done great things for the Blues, but can be better for sure. But like I said, if he loses tomorrow night, it won't damage his legacy unless he plays terrible, has a shock over a game. But I don't think he will. I think he'll stand up and definitely take the game into his own hands at some stage and play really well. But obviously the talk about him not owning an Origin, unlike the other guys, will keep continuing, and people will say, oh, you can't compare Cleary to like these top tier halves because he hasn't owned an Origin yet, which it's true until it happens. But no, Cleary's one of the greats. He'll be an immortal one day. I'm calling it right now. As for Tom Dearden, it's a funny one with Tom Dearden because could Tom Dearden be the 7 that takes Queensland to the series win in his first time being the main man? Who knows? It could definitely happen. There's a chance of it tomorrow night. But Tom Dearden, he obviously had a very simplified game in game 2, just ran the ball, just did his job. Munster was the main character, I feel like, in attack, just more controlling the game and let Dearden sort of have a passenger type of role, if that makes sense. Munster was more the conductor in that game. Look, I think Tom Dearden is one to have a big game tomorrow night. He has to stand up, and pressure is on him and Cleary, so we'll see which one stands up tomorrow night. Rightio, on to my tips and predictions for tomorrow night. Well, here we go. My official tip for tomorrow night is Blues to win. I'm going Blues 24-20. First try scorer, give me Brian Toto. Anytime try scorers, I'll give you 2 from each side. I'm going to go Hudson Young for a try. And the other one for the Blues will be... I'm going to go Dylan Edwards for a try. As for Queensland, going to back in Shibasaki to score on Queensland debut. And I'm also going to go with Hamiso for a try as well. Safe bet there. As to my player of the series, my player of the series will go to Payne Haas. I think Payne Haas has been the best player all series. It's debatable with many players, but in my opinion, Payne Haas has been the best player in so far game 1 and game 2. Even in a losing side, he was one of the best players on ground still. So I think Payne Haas will get it, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was someone else, but we'll see what happens. But that right there is my State of Origin Game 3 preview and predictions for 2025. Keen for the game tomorrow. If you're going, enjoy, because I would have loved to have gone, but I'll be here tomorrow night watching the game at home. But enjoy the game if you're going. But here we go. Go the Blues, and yeah, let's go.